Okay, today we want to talk a bit about auctions because we are starting to see a few more auctions happening, not just at our agency, but we're noticing other agencies starting to hold more auctions, whereas they'd kind of died off for most of the year this year.
Hmm.
And people have quite strong reactions to auctions. They either love them or hate them. What have been some of the reservations of people that you've spoken to, Philip, about auction?
Well, I guess most people that have I guess, don't like auctions really don't like them because they've experienced them from a buyer's perspective rather than a vendor's perspective. I think from a buyer's perspective, yep, you're under a little bit of pressure. It's I mean, it's money on the day. You've got to come up. You're the one that's got to hold your hand up. You've got to be the one that's holding your hand up last. So there is a fair
Mm,
bit of pressure from a purchaser's perspective. From a vendor's perspective, I think it's a nice, neat, it's a quick way of getting to a result, or not, but at least knowing where the market sees your property in a cash unconditional perspective.
yeah, because talking about cash buyers, it's very different from talking about conditional buyers. You know, if you've found a conditional buyer, you might have a chain of properties in that line, and then all of your sale is completely conditional on the person at the end of the chain selling for good money. So there's a lot more question marks in that kind
Yeah,
of
I
transaction.
get, or conditional contracts in a lot of cases aren't actually a real contract simply because we don't know whether we're going to get there. And
Yeah,
we've seen that on plenty of occasions. Whereas with an auction, that you reach reserve, the hammer falls, it's
you're
done.
sold.
It's done.
Yeah. So it's clean, it's transparent too. I mean, even if buyers, they do feel that adrenaline, you've got to have courage. It's good to be prepared as a buyer, not to go in not having had those conversations. But at the end of the day, it's a nice transparent way to purchase property as well. You can see your competition, you know exactly where you're at, and at the end of the day, it's done again. It's great for both parties.
Nobody should ever leave an auction unhappy because it's all
Yeah,
unfolded in front of them.
that's right. And
Can't always,
everyone's got that control.
dead right.
The vendors are in control of their
Mm.
reserve price, the buyer's in control of their hand, hopefully.
Not always, not
Yeah,
always. I
we have seen
mean,
a few like stop.
we have certainly seen cases where people have at least told us they've got a preconceived limit, and all of a sudden, for some reason, they can exceed that limit.
Yeah,
And we've had that on numerous occasions. It's just one of the oddities of auctions, but somebody really wants the property, and I guess they're somewhat validated by the fact somebody else is prepared to go one bid higher,
mm,
and therefore, if they really want the property, they'll just keep going.
yeah. So there are other methods of sale, but we are starting to see a few more auctions. So, and every year at this time, I mean, this is a great busy time of the year to be on the market. In the new year, we come back and we have our bid day out auction. So, tell us a little bit about what people can expect from that.
Well, a bid day out, it's a PB initiative to, I guess, hit the ground running at the start of the year. It's a very good way of getting your property portrayed to a wide audience because we're not talking about one, two, or three auctions. I think over the last couple of years, we've been 20 something auctions out of Whakatane
On the day,
on the
and that
day.
happens nationwide, although slightly different days.
That's right, but it's all held in one place on the day. And guess what that does is profiles everybody
Mm,
to quite a degree. I mean, we have special deals going for marketing over that period. It's just a very, very high profile way of getting your property put in front of a big number of people.
yeah, it's an exciting event. So if you want to find out more about that, just give us a call.